Hey, I'm agnostic, the group of people that everybody hates. I don't take offense. Anyways, in this video, I'm going to provide a mathematical equation, a very simple one, which if heaven and hell exist, eventually every single person and Christian will arrive in hell. I am referring to most people's conception of the Christian heaven and hell that follow these three rules. Number 1, they are both eternal and shall never end. Number 2, you cannot escape hell. And number 3, there is a form of time. There is a past, present, and future. For example, I could have a conversation with dead Elvis if I wanted to that had a beginning, middle, and end. This quote, "These will go away to eternal punishment, but the righteous into eternal life," Matthew 25:46, confirms the first two rules. I don't believe the third rule is definitively mentioned in the Bible and is the only way to sidestep this equation. I will get back to this. Okay, so let's assume that every Christian, 1.637 billion to 1.9 billion, Wikipedia, enters the gates of heaven. And you're one of these people. We don't know what heaven is like, but we can assume there are a lot of cool activities like walking around with other Christians and playing harps, frisbee, and whatnot. Or having sex all the time if that's your conception. This is where most people stop thinking about the concept of heaven and where the heaven to hell equation starts. The first part of the equation is an infinity. Since your time in heaven, your time, is infinite, or at least your time in hell is, we can assume that time itself is infinite in heaven and in hell. We'll represent this with the infinity symbol. Now to the second part of the equation. It is widely assumed in Christianity that angels have rebelled against God, including the devil himself. So, we can assume that because some of these apparent agents of holiness of God can rebel against God, even we humans could rebel against God in heaven. Perhaps not physically, but maybe verbally or psychologically. If done long enough with enough tension and enough hate, God could probably send you to hell or give you a warning where you could potentially rebel against God again. We'll call this potential an extremely unlikely event of rebelling against God as R%, since we don't know how long it would take for someone to get the courage to rebel against God. But wait, you might say, why would I want to rebel against God? Heaven's great, much better than hell. Well, unfortunately, when we multiply a percentage of an event, no matter how unlikely, by infinity, the result is always 100%. For example, if you had 1,000 bricks and were to drop them randomly around the entire world over and over, given infinity time, you would build a model of the Eiffel Tower and a statue of a wheelchair. Why? Because it could happen, and when you apply time that never ends, you will eventually end up with a brick Eiffel Tower or a wheelchair. But wait, you might say, how does this apply to me? Well, unfortunately for all of us, if we multiply R%, the fact that you could rebel against God, and infinite time, the result leads to a 100% guarantee you will rebel against God till you go to hell. It could take you 100 years, or 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 100 years, a googolplex, virtually impossible to write out, but you will eventually rebel, because you can, until you're banished from heaven. And the result is that every single person, every Christian, Mother Teresa, anybody will go to hell forever, because once you're in hell you cannot escape, unless you're son of God, and when you multiply 0 by infinity, it's still 0. Now, on to evading the equation. Free will is an important part of Christianity, so God making an anti-rebel chastity belt of sorts is unlikely. The only way to avoid your eventual demise of hell is if time does not simply exist in heaven or hell. I'm not sure how it would work, but it is possible. You might not be able to think, or talk to Elvis or any of that stuff, but it'd be better than hell, I guess. And just to clarify, because I know some dipshit's gonna call me on it, when I meant an Eiffel Tower model or a wheelchair statue, I meant one made of bricks. Obviously. I hope I've expressed my ideas clearly, and I hope I have not plagiarized anyone. I have not heard of this before, I have not seen this before, but if someone has said this before, please tell me. I did not know of it. Thank you for listening, and I hope I didn't piss off any atheists, and I probably did piss off some Christians. See you.